Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the annual NBA Hall of Fame induction, where tonight we will be celebrating and honoring Stephen Curry's amazing career in the NBA. Stephen Curry was introduced to the game of basketball at a very young age, since his father, Del Curry, was in the NBA as well. So since then, he had a really big love for the game of basketball. Despite how talented Steph Curry was, he encountered a lot of obstacles and challenges and hardships, and there are a lot of people who doubted him. But his entire career, he had to overcome those hardships, and he proved a lot of people wrong, and he showed that he could be a superstar in the NBA. So tonight, we're here to honor the player who proved the doubters wrong and changed the game of basketball. For Stephen Curry, growing up in the early parts of his basketball career, one of the main things that a lot of people doubted him for was his height. He only grew to be 6'3" by the time he was ready for college, and that's a few inches less than the average height of an NBA player. So a lot of people had their doubts and worries on whether or not he'd be able to get drafted into the NBA and become a superstar player. And another thing that was really tough for him was that he wasn't getting a lot of scholarships or offers from big basketball schools like Duke or Kentucky. But fortunately, he was able to get an offer from Davidson College, which is in Davidson, North Carolina. And at Davidson, he proved a lot of people wrong, and he proved that he could be an NBA superstar. For example, he set a record for the most three-pointers in the NCAA at the time, which was 162, I believe. And he set the record for most points scored in a half versus Gonzaga in Davidson history. So a lot of those things he did at Davidson showed a lot of people that he could have what it took to be a star in the NBA. Now, after his years at Davidson, Stephen Curry was drafted by the Warriors in 2009 with the 7th pick in the draft. So a lot of people had questions and doubts and were like, could Stephen Curry be the next face of the Golden State Warriors franchise? So early on in his career, Stephen Curry played decent, but one thing that a lot of people questioned and weren't really for certain about was if he could stay healthy enough to be their franchise player. Because early on, he did deal with some ankle injuries, and it was very tough because ankle injuries are one of the worst injuries you could have as a basketball player, and they can keep you sidelined for a long time. So a lot of people questioned whether or not he'd be able to overcome that obstacle. But Stephen Curry proved the doubters wrong yet again. And in 2015, he led the Warriors to a championship. That season, he averaged 23 points per game, and he shot 44% from the three-point line, which is very impressive. And he also won his first MVP. So you could say that was a pretty good season for Stephen Curry. Then the following season, he had an even better year. He averaged 30 points per game, he shot 45% from the three-point line, and he won the first unanimous MVP. Not to mention, he also led his team to a 73-9 record, which was the best record in NBA history. And after that, Stephen Curry continued to prove that he was a superstar, and he continued to have great success in the NBA. For example, he won 3 more championships in 2017, 2018, and in 2022. And he also won his first Finals MVP in 2022. He won a gold medal in 2024, and he passed Ray Allen in the most three-pointers made in NBA history in the 2022 season. Now, even after all of Stephen Curry's success, he still inspired people on and off of the basketball court. He's a very good and generous person who gives back to the people in his community. He provided toys for kids who aren't as fortunate as some others are for Christmas. He provided meals for people who are less fortunate. And him and his wife started a foundation where they donated a lot of money to literacy programs and refurbishing playgrounds in the Bay Area community, and more specifically in Oakland, because that's where he was playing at the time. Stephen Curry has inspired a lot of people on and off the court, and he's showed people that with hard work and determination, you can overcome any obstacle and any challenge in life that comes your way. So now it is my honor to present Stephen Curry with an NBA Hall of Fame induction. Thank you very much.